Oh, absolutely. Now, like I told you, I was coming out of a relationship that I didn't think was going to fail. I was surprised that it did not work. Woke me up and says, you know what, you can be a psychologist, but it doesn't mean you know the first thing about relationships. And I didn't. I knew what my parents taught me. Parents still been married. I'm married. Been married 40 years, and but I had no idea what they did. Because Tatiana, I think, you know, me like most people that are married, we didn't know what our parents talked about. So if we were lucky enough to have two parents in the household, they really didn't talk to us about what they did to make it work. They just kind of like disappeared in the back room and came back and everything was fixed. So I said, all right, I'm going to do this the right way. I want to be married within a year. So I wrote a book and said, all right, I'm going to bless so many women. There's going to be a woman that reads this book and it's going to say, you know what? I know more than what you wrote. I'm your equal. And that's what I was looking for. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, someone read my book, contacted me about doing a relationship seminar. You know, you have that game, okay? And when she came, she was trying to talk business though. I was not, as soon as she walked in, I said, God, is that the one? Because Tatiana, I had become impatient. I was doing relationship seminars. I had all this attention, and I was trying to pick women out of the singles. I was like, okay, you, one of you all is going to be the next Mrs. Tart. I was looking, and no matter what happened, it wouldn't work out. And there wouldn't be anything wrong with them, but God was clear. I will pick who I want you to have. You can pick all day, but it's not going to work out. So after about a year, it finally clicked. Wait for him. And then when she walked in the room, that's who I wanted, and that's what I've been with for the last 3 years.
Are you guys married now? Or?
No, we are moving in that direction. So
Okay.
hopefully, not hopefully,
Spoiler alert.
the plan, I look right at the camera, you know, the plan is, you know, sometime this year. She's the one that's delaying it, not me, you know. She just started a new job, so she wants to delay until she can get her bearings. But I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, why delay? Who wants to be single in their late 30s? Hey, that's a fail. Not interested.
You said that in your bio it said that you're a father.
Right.
Okay, so you had that, were you single father before you met her?
No, I was married to her mom.
Oh, okay.
And it just fell apart, just crumbled right on the floor.
Oh.
You know, and so it goes to show you that two people can come together and try to make something work. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to fall apart. And like anything else, and this is what keeps marriages together, friendship. That friendship, of course, staying in the Word. But in addition to the Word, and remind you, I am a Christian, you have to have the skill set. See, in church, we talk about only prayer without teaching prayer and the book of Acts. What acts you need to take. How does a couple stay together through thick and thin? I didn't get that. I've only gotten that through my own research, and that's my ministry. And going back and talking to singles about how to make relationships work. Because people think singles is people that are not dating. They're actively dating. And many are not making it work because they don't know how to make it work. So that's my ministry. And then also to married couples. You know, I'm able to minister to them and say, hey, I know how hard it is. You know, I've been to the valley and I'm headed back up the mountain. Let me tell you these things I wish I knew that can empower your relationship, and people love it.
That's amazing. God puts us through a lot of trials and tests to make us stronger and to help people.
Just like Paul and his thorn. I mean, so I think relationships and I just have a heart for children, especially children in foster care. Those are going to be, my ministries. I know he put me in the field of psychology to spread God's kingdom from the field of psychology, which by tradition is completely atheist, but not in modern training. I mean, matter of fact, there are an abundance of Christian counseling programs. So I think the blend of psychology with, of course, the Word, which is the ultimate the ultimate word, is where we all need to be when it comes to ministering to future relationship seekers and married couples.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about your expansion to television.
Okay, all right.
The show Love Addiction just premiered this past week. So tell me about the show and how it came to be.
All right. Well, first of all, you're gonna love Love Addiction. All right. No show has ever been done like this within the African American community. So Love Addiction is a show that combines three psychologists, well, three therapists. It's myself, Hassani Pettiford, and Dr. Bryant Davis, who is the sister of Reverend Jamal Davis. Okay, we actually went to Morehouse together in the same psychology class, came out the same year. Yeah, we used to call him Martin Luther King back in the day. That's a story for another day. So the three of us combined to work with couples. So not at the same time, at least not yet. I'm paired with women. I think Dr. Bryant Davis is with men, and then Hassani Pettiford, who starts the first three editions, are paired with men. And pretty much what we do is imagine people looking for love, and then they wake up one day and they're like, I'm in the middle of an addiction. It's like I was looking to have fun, and then I got hooked to these drugs, and now I don't know how to get off. So we come right in the middle of the conflict, and the family calls an intervention for one of the parties, and then we come in and convince them to move on to something healthier. So you can imagine there are a lot of people that are not too happy because we walk right in. So imagine you eat dinner and say, hey, family's not happy what's going on, and you know you're on television, so they think it's a documentary. And then when I come in, they realize, oh my goodness, all my stuff has been put on national television, and I need to move forward. So it's great because people learn how to get unstuck.
That's spoiling the season. What are a couple of situations that you have to deal with in the show?
Oh, let me tell you what's coming up next week. There's a guy that is a womanizer, hates women. Says women should submit, not godly submission, but like subservient slavery submission. So we know those guys, users, that they use women for what they can give them. So he breaks down on the show. He's broken down. I mean, Hassani breaks him down to his very last compound, as well as his friends and family, to help him get unstuck. Then there's another one where a woman is just doing too much for the guy. There are no MVPs in a relationship. Another situation in which your biological clock is ticking, and so you start wondering, are my standards too high? And there's one episode in which a woman is phenomenal, and she's dating a guy that is nowhere on her level, and she's unhappy, but she's stuck between, do I stay with, it's not even good enough, do I stay with something, or do I risk the chance at nothing for the opportunity to have everything? So tune in to see if I was able to steer her in the right direction.
Absolutely, I will be tuning in and make sure that you do the same.
Yeah, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on TV One.
So one last question before we end our discussion here. So as a single, as a Black Christian single in general, like what are some of the things that women misunderstand about men and misunderstand about them?
Okay, all right, let's start with women. That men don't want commitment. Men want to marry. As men get older, they mature. And a man's first phase of life is he's worried about respect. He wants to be respected. After he's respected, the next phase is leaving a legacy. So when you think about how men judge other men, we give more value to husbands and fathers, because if we're protectors and providers, it's a lot more difficult to provide and protect for a family than just yourself. And as you get older, men start questioning, is everything okay? Is everything functioning all right? Or were you traumatized as a kid or something? People want to be married. So I think that women probably look at too much TV or listen to too many negative, because what happens is the happy married man is quiet in the media. You don't see him. You don't see him at the bar approaching you. You see the unhappily married man approaching you at the bar, or the gigolo or the player. But the happily married men are at home, and that's why there are not as many clubs for men over 30s. Now, you're talking about the 20s? Yes. But when you start talking about that grown and sexy, there are not that many clubs. Why? Because most of them are married. And that's what I think women forget, that men do want to marry. As far as men mistake about women, I think we misinterpret when women say they're looking for security. I think we take that as an offense. When a woman looks at us and kind of sizes us up as far as income is concerned, I think we get a little hypersensitive. And don't get me wrong, I don't think gold digging is a thing to do, but being a father of a daughter myself, if we're protectors and providers, then women naturally, just from an evolutionary standpoint, to survive, they need to have safety and security. And part of safety and security is being with an ambitious man that's able to be responsible and provide for the family. So I think that's something that we misinterpret. It's not that women are looking for gold to dig. I think they're looking for stability. And I think at a certain point, we should be able to provide that if we're doing what we need to do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tart, for your advice and for your information, and especially about your show and your personal testimony. You can catch more of Dr. Tart on his website. He's drtart.com.
That's it.
Absolutely, and his show on TV One called Love Addiction. Make sure you check it out. And this is Tatiana Green for Blitz.